Happy Eid to our Guyanese Muslim brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago. Just a day after Trinidad and Tobago recorded the deadliest day for the COVID-19 pandemic, news broke that two sisters, a police officer, and even a doctor lost their lives during the past week due to COVID-19. On April 16, Georgette Rawlins was offering herself as a candidate for the University of the West Indies UWI Credit Union's Credit Committee. But on Wednesday, less than a month later, Georgette lost her life to COVID-19. Her death traumatized her already devastated family, who had not yet come to terms with the death of Georgette's sister, Karen Rawlins, days before. And after serving his community for 50 years, Dr. Maniram Rampal of Rio Claro passed away on Monday afternoon at the Couva Hospital. He is one of the country's 224 victims of the COVID-19 virus thus far. Rampal's death was announced on social media and later confirmed by a family friend. The family friend said that his death devastated the community he had relentlessly served for decades. Also, a second police officer has died from the COVID-19 virus in the Twin Island Republic. Acting Inspector Mukesh Sukram, who was last based at the Morvant police station, died at the Couva Hospital Wednesday afternoon. Inspector Sukram was first enlisted into the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on April 8, 2002. Last week, Constable Anthony Nicholson died from COVID-19. It was smooth sailing for at least 4 primary schools at the start of the phased resumption of face-to-face classes on Wednesday in Barbados. Last week, Monday, the older students at primary and secondary schools across the island returned to their respective schools. Last Sunday, during a televised press conference, Minister of Education Santia Bradshaw announced that there would be phased return to classes starting from Wednesday. In Jamaica, a Kingston man allegedly used a machete to trim some of the dreadlocks of a 78-year-old man with whom he had a dispute. The accused man, Sheldon Smith, is also reported to have used a machete to slap the elderly man across the shoulders several times. He allegedly punched him in the right eye as well. Smith, who appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday, pleaded not guilty to the charge of assault occasioning bodily harm. The complainant told the court that on January 20, Smith saw him having a conversation with his girlfriend when he approached him and assaulted him. According to the elderly man, Smith threatened to kill him unless he left his girlfriend alone. The complainant is the landlord of the accused man's girlfriend. A neighbor told the court that the elderly man is intimidated by the accused and is in fear of his life. The defendant at one point during the proceedings pointed at the feeble-looking complainant in a threatening manner, which led Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks to say he believed that the accused is indeed bullying the complainant. Smith's bail has been extended until June 17. 3 weeks into nationwide anti-government protests, residents in Colombia's third-largest city, Cali, say they are struggling to get petrol and some food items. Protesters have blocked some of the main access roads into the city, and deliveries have been severely disrupted. Cali has been the scene of some of the worst clashes between protesters and security forces. At least 42 people have died in the protests. And finally, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said Wednesday that the agency now recommends the use of Pfizer-BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine in 12 to 15-year-olds. The CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices voted unanimously Wednesday to recommend giving Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to kids as young as 12 years old. Providers may begin vaccinating 12 through 15-year-old adolescents right away. Consent from a parent or guardian will be required to get the vaccine in a CVS pharmacy, and an adult must be present with the child to get the vaccine. President Joe Biden welcomed the decision, noting that 17 million more Americans would now be eligible for vaccination. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.